Hi guys, I wanted to talk to you today about the annual gynecological exam. This is the exam which brings a lot of anxiety and fear, I think, in a lot of women, especially younger girls who are just starting to their gynecological exams, which is usually start at age 21, but some girls have to start earlier than that depending upon their problem. They're petrified about this exam, and you know, the fear is, I think it's a fear of unknown. It's that they have heard a lot of stories, horror stories, and from their friends, and are seen it on social media. It's like how uncomfortable it is. So today I wanted to assure you that this is not a very uncomfortable exam. There's a little discomfort, I agree with that, but it is not painful at all. So what people usually fear is the speculum we use for our examination. So what is a speculum? I wanted to show you an example of a speculum, and I have different sizes up here. So let's start with the smallest one. So look how small it is. It's kind of a duck-billed. It has got the upper blade and a lower blade, and we insert it in the vagina. So this is a model of the vagina I wanted to show you. So the speculum goes in there, we open it, and then we lock it. So why is it done? So this way it will retract the vagina on the top and the bottom, and we can actually see your cervix. Now if you see inside, cervix is a round donut-shaped organ with a little hole in it. And we look at the cervix for a couple things. We look to see if there are any abnormalities on the cervix. Is there any infection? Is there any secretions? And if there are any secretions, and if we want to check you guys for an infection, we just use a small swab stick. Let me open one to show you. See how small it is? It's tiny. It goes into the cervix, and we take the cultures and we bring it out. So that's one part of the exam. The second part of the exam is actual pap smear. Now many people confuse a pelvic exam with a pap smear. Pap smear is done only once a year or once every 3 years, depending upon your condition and your diagnosis. Pap smear is an exam for cervical cancer. So what we do, we use this brush. Now this brush is made up of plastic. Here it is. It's a little firm. So when this goes onto the cervix, you might feel it a little bit, but it's not painful. So this brush goes onto the cervix. Here you go. And we just twirl it around. Can you see it? Twirl it around to get some cells from that cervix and bring it out, and we send it in a liquid base in a little bottle for a cytology. That's the pap smear. This is the second pap smear brush. Look, it looks like a little cone. It goes inside of your cervix again to get some cells from inside where we cannot see anything. Again, it's taken out. And these two brushes help us find out whether do you have a risk of a cancer or precancer of the cervix. So this is the pap smear. The rest of the exam is a pelvic exam. That is a part of pap smear, but it's not always a pap smear. So coming back to the speculum, what you are worried about after this exam is done, we take the speculum out, and that's about it. The next part of the exam is a digital exam. We put our finger in the vagina, one inside, one hand on the top of the belly, so we can feel your uterus. Now your uterus is a tiny organ in your pelvis. See here, this is a model showing the uterus, tubes, and the ovaries in there. So when we do a digital exam, we are putting one finger in the vagina, one on the top, and we are feeling to see if there are any abnormalities of the uterus. That's it. That's what is a pap smear exam or a pelvic exam. So don't you worry about the size of the speculum and is it gonna be painful. There are different sizes. This is the small size. This is another small size speculum, same thing. This is a medium one. You see that? And this is a large one. Now, what size do you need depends if you had children, have you been sexually active or not, and your gynecologist will assess which size you need. So if you have a right side speculum inserted in it, it's not going to be a painful exam. So don't worry about the annual gynecological exam. They are very important. Those are the important preventive exams in helping us prevent not only STIs, sexually transmitted diseases, precancer, cancer of the uterus, but also helps us determining what kind of a birth control you need and help you with your menstrual cycle, any kind of a pelvic pain or any problems you're having. So please go and see your gynecologist once a year. If you want to come see me, please contact me at 810-720-1790, or you can email us on hardasobgyn.com, or you can DM us at GlamGyno. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.